Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day. Let's get started. I'm not sure I really liked my last episode. I agree with everything I said, but I guess I don't like how I expressed it. My voice was heavy and commanding and saying do this and don't do this. Like it's like this sort of tone that you're listening to a motivational speaker on a stage. And that's just not me. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just this guy who thinks into a microphone. As I mentioned before, I'm working on trying to catch my speech up to my thoughts, and I figured I'd sound best when I'm reading dialogue directly from a script, so I just scripted my episodes. What I wasn't expecting is that I found that reading prepared words give me an ingenuine tone. Also, when I write my scripts, I find myself looking up references of books and quotes, and when I listen, I kind of sound like a know it all. And it just doesn't sound interesting, in my opinion. And it puts me into perspective when I hear my own voice and it just doesn't sound like me. I'm not sure what I. I'm not sure of what my final product is meant to be. But I know that when I started this mini podcast that I'm finally on the right track. I don't want to sound commanding or cocky, like I'm somehow in charge. I'm not a know-it-all, and I hardly know what I'm doing. I just walk one step at a time, and I want to share my steps as I go. I want to be a comfort. I don't want to tell people what to do. I'm not a life coach, and I'm not a professor on how to live life. Maybe I just want to pat people on the back and tell them they're doing a good job. I just want people to love their life. And I think my end goal is that I want to be everybody's friend. And that's my goal for now, and I think it's possible in the abstract. I'm going to see where it takes me. Anyways, on to the main objective. I gotta be honest, this has been a really weird week for me. I caught a cold on Monday, beat it down by Friday. I drove 4 hours to my hometown to where I lost 3 pounds. As I still recovered from my illness and I returned to my house, and certain serious problems began to arise as soon as I came back, and my emotions hit me like a sack of stones, and I couldn't shut it out with music or books or movies. So I went to jujitsu, which is my magic bullet to kill my negative emotions. But man, I got wiped out. A 3 pound loss doesn't sound like a lot, but I only weighed 145 and I don't have much to lose. I couldn't focus on what my professor was teaching, and I've trained to the point that I felt like I might pass out if I got up from the mats. And as I drove home, my body hurt, my soul hurt, my stomach ached, and my head throbbed, and for the first time in a while, I just didn't know what to do. My emotions were quickly traveling to a physiological expression as, tears streamed down my face. I felt small, if I'm honest. I tried everything, and I couldn't get a grip on my emotions. And it was the weirdest thing. And I have this thing where I act like I'm not afraid of a lot of stuff, when I'm sure I'm not alone. We as a species control so much on the planet that we are pretty much godlike to every other species. I think it's a human thing to want to control everything. But we can't, and that's okay. There are always going to be powers that we can't harness, and there's natural laws that we can't break, and there's inevitable things that we can't prevent. I act like I'm not scared of a lot of things, but a recent incident has put me into realization that I'm scared of what I can't control, and that's a lot of things. But it's good to feel small sometimes. It gives you a sense of meekness and honesty. In reality, what are we but dust? Uncountable, like sands of the sea, like snow falling. Sometimes we need to feel small to appreciate the bigger things. We're still the apex predator of the world, so we're not so small, but in 10 years, the world will still be spinning 1,000 miles an hour in space, and the sun comes up and goes back down. There's nothing we can even try to do to control that. When we feel small, what do we tell ourselves? I joke that nothing is strong enough to kill me. It's a cocky joke to keep my confidence up, but send me 2 hours away into the woods with nothing but the clothes on my back and see how quick I fold. I can only change my physical nature so much, but I need to eventually accept that there are things bigger than me. Sometimes the most I can do is what I can. Sometimes we just gotta pick up the pieces and make a weird little bowl. It's not so bad. My favorite thing to say is it can be worse. And it can. It can always be worse. Always. And that doesn't mean that it's not bad, but it has good in it somehow. At least it's not raining. We should at least look. We should all look up and remember the whole picture. After you can do all of that, you can. I don't think that you should burn yourself with feelings of shame or discontent or denial. You did what you could. Perhaps, maybe we should just make the best out of our situation. When thorns grow from the streets, should we pave the roads? That'd be an external solution when we change the nature of the environment, or we could just make sandals and change the nature of ourselves. I want you to ask yourself for me, before I leave, what do you tell yourself when you're feeling down? And in how many ways can it be worse? Thank you for dropping by. As always, I hope you have a great day. Remember to take a deep breath, drink water, take care of yourself. You matter. The world is good. And I'll see you next week.